Welcome to Thyratira. Ancient Thyratira was not the grandest of the 7 cities of Revelation, but it was busy, practical, and deeply connected to everyday work. It stood along an important route in Western Asia Minor between Pergamum and Sardis and became known for its industries. Ancient inscriptions point to guilds of wool workers, linen workers, dyers, leather workers, potters, shoemakers, bronze workers, and other craftsmen. So imagine Thyatira not first as a city of temples and monuments, but as a city of working people. Fabrics being woven, wool being processed, cloth being dyed, leather being cut, metal being heated and hammered, merchants bargaining, craftsmen depending on relationships with others in their trade. And those guilds mattered. They were not simple professional clubs. They could be tied to social life, economic opportunity, meals, patron deities, and religious customs. To belong could help you provide your livelihood. To refuse, participation could absolutely cost you. That becomes important later when we hear Jesus warn this church about compromise. But before we get there, there is someone else connected to this city. A woman named Lydia. When Acts introduces Lydia, Paul meets her far from Thyatira, actually in Philippi, which is way north. But Luke identifies her as, quotes, a dealer in purple cloth from the city of Thyatira. So that was where she was probably born and raised. That little detail fits what we know about this city. Lydia came from a place known for textiles and dyeing. And Paul meets her beside a river, gathered with other women for prayer on the Sabbath. And Acts says the Lord opened her heart. Then her life begins to open too. She and her household are baptized. She opens her home to Paul and his companions. Later, after Paul and Silas are released from prison, believers gather there again. A woman from Thyatira becomes part of the beginning of the Christian community of Philippi. There is something beautiful about that. It changes what flows through her life. Her resources become hospitality. Her home becomes a place of belonging. Her influence creates connection. And then, decades later, another message would come back to Lydia's hometown, a message from Jesus to the believers living here. But before we read it, look at Thyatira today. Ancient Thyatira now lies within the modern Turkish city of Akhisar. And now I don't think I'm pronouncing that right at all, but it might be Akhisar. Unlike Ephesus, you do not walk into a vast excavated city. Instead, there's modern buildings all surrounding the ruins. There's shops, apartments, streets, traffic, and everyday life continue all around them. And by the way, there's some great ice cream there. Much of the ancient city is still underneath the modern one. What we see today is only a small opening into the past. Some of the ruins visible here are later than the time of Revelation, but they still help us picture the Roman city that once stood in its place. Columns rise where covered walkways once stood. Stone walls and arches reveal layers of rebuilding. Broken pieces of pottery and architectural stones still lie among the ruins. And small tortoises wander quietly through the site, which I actually loved and seemed to have a lot of distraction for as they were going all around, from little tiny ones to big ones. It feels peaceful now. But 2,000 years ago, these streets would have been full of sound. Workers, merchants, guild members, families, travelers. People trying to make a living. People trying to belong. People deciding what they were willing to compromise in order to survive. And somewhere in this city was a Christian community trying to follow Jesus in the middle of all that pressure. They were not gathered in these ruins. They were living in a very alive city. And now, Jesus speaks directly to them. He is about to tell them that he sees their love, their faith, their service, their perseverance. He sees that they are doing more than they did at first. There is real life in this church, but he also sees something else growing alongside it, something that threatens connection. Something that says you can belong to Jesus and still attach yourself to another source of security. You can trust God and still compromise when survival feels uncertain. You can keep the language of faith while slowly dividing your allegiance. And that is where the message to Thyratira becomes very important. Because Jesus is not only asking, what do you believe? He is asking, what are you connected to for life? Who has your trust? What do you depend on when you are afraid? What are you willing to join yourself to in order to feel secure? Let's listen now to the letter that Jesus sends to the church of Thyratira. There are parts of it that can sound kind of harsh, and that's why we really need to try to understand what it means. Because there is hidden treasures of meaning that aren't always there just on the surface. Write this letter to the leader of the Church of Thyratira. This is a message from the Son of God, whose eyes penetrate like flames of fire, whose feet are like glowing brass. I am aware of your good deeds, your kindness to the poor, your gifts and service to them. Also, I know your love and faith and patience, and I can see your constant improvement in all these things. Yet I have this against you. You are permitting that woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess, to teach my servants that relational sin is not a serious matter. She urges them to practice relational immorality and to eat meat that has been sacrificed to idols. I gave her time to change her mind and attitude, but she refused. Pay attention now to what I am saying. I will lay her upon a sick bed of intense affliction, along with her immoral followers, unless they turn again to me, repenting of their sin with her. And her children will be struck dead. And all the churches shall know that I am he who searches deep within men's hearts and minds. I will give to each of you whatever you choose. As for the rest of you in Thyatira who have not followed this false teaching and lies, deeper truths as they call them, secrets, depths of Satan really, I will ask nothing further of you. Only hold tightly, abide to what you have until I come. To everyone who overcomes, who to the very end keeps on doing things that please me and follow the way of life. To everyone who overcomes, who continues to abide, who to the very end keeps on doing the things that I ask, I will give power over the nations. You will rule them with a rod of iron, just like my Father gave me the authority to rule them. They will be shattered like a pot of clay that is broken into tiny pieces, and I will give you the morning star. Let all who can hear listen to what the Spirit says to the churches.